All right. Let me start by saying that I was incredibly wrong. Diablo Immortal is, in fact, ridiculously pay to win. As sad as that makes me, and as heartbreaking as that makes me say it, Diablo Immortal is, in fact, incredibly pay to win. There are a few little caveats to that, and my own personal opinions or my own take on the whole pay to win thing, free to play versus pay to win, of course, the Diablo series as a whole, and just how Immortal is turning out to be a few days after its friggin' release, and the mass exodus of players it already has versus the mass influx of players it keeps continuing to get. Which is another thing to talk about. So, yes, I was wrong. I am sorry, Diablo community. Stay a while and listen. I should have said that at the beginning of the first video. All right, as someone in my comments pointed out, you don't. When I in my last video I said you don't win Diablo. You can't win Diablo games. Winning Diablo games isn't really a thing. It's you beat the last boss. You get some good loot, and then you start over again with a new class or with the same character, new game plus or whatever. Run it through hell difficulty, run through nightmare difficulty. You do it again. You do it all over again and all over again and all over again and all over again. It is the farming of loot and the getting of loot and the dropping of unique and rare items, as well as the addicting combat and the building of your character, and how even speedrunning. Like, there's a huge speedrunning community for Diablo, and best strategies. Do you create a bone necro? Do you create a hammered in? Do you create a whirlwind barbarian before Lords of Destruction came out? So it's all of that stuff. And that's what Path of Exiles does so well, and that's what I picked up Grim Dawn recently. Grim Dawn is really good. That's not good. The whole thing is you can't really win Diablo, but and essentially it's winning the game is getting the good loot. It's farming for the good loot. So here is the crux to that, and here's where once again people might get mad at me. With Diablo Immortal, they have effectively made it pay to win if you're PvPing somebody and they have better loot than you because they spent $1,000 or better armor or whatever, and you are choosing the free option as a free-to-play game, then you will effectively lose, right? Because they have better stuff than you because they bought it. With Diablo Immortal, my friggin' ear. With Diablo Immortal, they have put a paywall essentially behind legendary loot drops, behind a legendary gem that will increase your armor or allow you to get better gear with like 5 of them to upgrade this one gem. But in order to really get that one gem, you have to pay for it, right? You can farm for it for free in the game, but the drop rate of it is like 0.4%. Out of 100% or 1,000%, the drop rate of this legendary gem that allows you to sock it into an item to upgrade this thing, to upgrade your other thing, is a 0.4% chance out in the real world, in the real gaming space for this game, or you can buy it. Is that pay to win though? That's the thing, guys. Like, if you really care about getting, the best armor in the game, which ideally I guess everybody should, because that's how these games work. And like for Diablo 2, it was a lot of people would farm for, Tyrion's armor, something with Tyrael, like Tyrael's robes, or a rune word for Tyrael, or something like that. I gotta look this up later, and I'll put it in like little brackets or something. But people would farm for that in Diablo 2, and the drop rate for that item, for this really rare item, probably the rarest item in the entire game, is like a 0.4% chance, or even a 0.2 or whatever. It's really, really, really rare, but effectively it's not even the best armor in the game, or not even the best item, or whatever. There are better items that you can get later on. It's just a really rare item that people enjoyed getting, and depending on how you play, then yeah, the item is incredibly great, depending on what your build is, what your character is, yada yada yada, right? So they put a paywall effectively behind this incredibly rare item, or items in Diablo Immortal, and people are saying, like, imagine if they put a paywall behind that's really rare armor in Diablo 2. If they put a paywall behind that, is that pay to win? And that's I guess I'm circling back around here. It's like, it's a yes and a no, because if winning Diablo is getting the best loot, and they put a paywall behind being able to acquire the best loot, or even being able to max out or whatever. I think someone did the total, and it's like $1,110 to get max level, to get all the best gear or whatever, to upgrade everything completely, is that total amount, like $1,110 or something, right? Something ridiculous for Diablo Immortal. And it's pay to win, because if you're doing PvP again. But that's the thing that I struggle to, and I kind of disagree with the rest of the community about this, is that I don't necessarily think you can win Diablo, and I'm probably the only one who thinks this. If I'm wrong, I guess I'm wrong, whatever. I don't think you can really win Diablo, because it's just a constant farming game. It's a loot game. It's the combat. It's the addiction of getting the loot, getting your better gear and stuff like that. But again, if the end goal is to get the best gear and that's winning, then so be it. But like, the thing is there are people who've played Diablo 2 since its inception back in 2000, 1999, 2000, that have played for literally these past 20 years. And I guarantee you that they have not acquired every single item in the entire game. I guarantee. And if they have, then I would love to see it. Because like, just the RNG, the way the RNG works, the random number generation, the random drop generation or whatever for loot and stuff, whether you're on hell difficulty or whatever, is still incredibly rare for these items. And you would need to grind for years and years and years, like probably 30 or something years, to really unlock it, or use cheats or whatever. I guarantee that every single rare item in Diablo 2, or every single item in general, rare, super rare, legendary, whatever, for Diablo 2 has not been found or gotten. And again, if it has, I would love to see proof. Or somebody in the comments, please point me to a YouTuber or a streamer or whatever, or a list, I guess, that, not the Diablo fan wiki, because I know it's on there, that has all these items. And like, and that's the thing, you don't really see, that's the thing that I'm struggling to grasp here, is you don't really win Diablo, guys. So Diablo Immortal isn't pay to win. Call me crazy, I guess. But again, there's the PvP aspect. See, there's all these little buts and caveats or fine prints or whatever for Diablo Immortal. Like, and then, it's paid to win. But I don't think you can win Diablo. So, yeah, like, it's really about just building your character and getting good loot and having fun with that loot grind and everything like that. Like, I've been playing Gauntlet again also. I've been replaying Diablo, I've been replaying Gauntlet, because as Gauntlet is a very, very much a progenitor to Diablo. Gauntlet came out in the arcades. It's an arcade game with your friends. For those of you who somehow don't know what Gauntlet is, I can't believe that you are Diablo fans and you don't know what Gauntlet is. But it's a game that came out in the 80s in the arcades. It was always been an arcade game that you get together with friends. There was console versions for when you were home on the PlayStation, Nintendo 64. There were Super Nintendo versions. That's where I played Gauntlet back in the day, on Super Nintendo. This looter, it was the progenitor of loot, because the whole thing with Gauntlet, I almost said Diablo, the whole thing with Gauntlet is that you get together with friends or by yourself, you kill all these monsters, you gain experience, at least in like the later ones or whatever. I can't remember the earlier ones. I have to go back and look up them because the only ones I have in my head right now are the ones I've been playing. And you get this gear and you get this loot and you get the money, and then you do it all over again, and you play as a wizard, a warrior, a dwarf, or a Valkyrie. Wait, no, wizard, warrior, elf, Valkyrie, the original 4 characters, and then later on they introduced dwarf or whatever. Lots of things spawned from Gauntlet. I highly guarantee you that before Diablo 1 became an action RPG and was a turn-based thing, that there was some inspiration there from Gauntlet for the original Diablo in its inception. I guarantee it. I don't know if David Brevik, the creator, has said that in general, but I guarantee you that there was some inspiration from Gauntlet for Diablo. Diablo is a more complex Gauntlet, in my opinion. But you don't really win Gauntlet. It's just fun, having fun with your friends and getting loot. Same thing with Diablo. You don't really win Diablo. Like, call me crazy, I guess. Call me wrong or whatever, but that's my opinion. But sadly, the price markup for Diablo Immortal, and this is the whole thing I'm getting to, the price markup that people have done these past couple of days and that people have discovered, unfortunately, is that yes, Diablo Immortal is pay to win, essentially. Because they put a paywall behind unlocking your best gear, if that's what it means to win Diablo, is getting the best gear, and you have to pay for it, then yes, it's pay to win. And again, if you're in PvP and you and someone is a whaler and they bought all this stuff and you're playing for free, then you're gonna lose because they have better gear than you. Pay to win. The thing that I think kind of turns me off about this whole thing, or that that I'm still hopeful for Diablo 4, because like I said in my other video, I do not think that Blizzard, crossing fingers here, that Blizzard would be dumb enough to make a paywall like this and experiment with what they're going to do for Diablo 4 in Diablo Immortal. Again, this is a mobile free-to-play game, so they have to make money somehow, right? And that's how they make money. The thing I think that gets me the most here is that the cosmetics. You can buy cosmetics. Just really cool cosmetic looking armor. It looks really awesome. Admittedly, I don't like the art style for Diablo Immortal. I didn't like the art style for Diablo 3. I felt it was more Warcraft and Overwatch than Diablo, than that dark gothic sword and sorcery stuff. I've said this before in my other video. I've said this in rants to my friends about Diablo. Admittedly, the cosmetics that they have for Diablo Immortal are really cool looking. Like, some of the cosmetic armor is really cool. They even have really cool Diablo 2 cosmetics that throw back to like the best armor or whatever in Diablo 2 for the barbarian, for the wizard. They even brought back the friggin' monk from Diablo 1 and gave the monk the conceptualized armor that they had when they were originally going to put the monk into Diablo 2, but then they scrapped it for other characters. That's really cool. I love that. But the cost to buy one piece of cosmetic armor that doesn't do anything, it doesn't give you any bonus stats, it just sits on top of your regular armor that you have as a cosmetic, is $20. I think it's $20 because you need like special gems or whatever to buy stuff in Diablo Immortal, right? And like the cosmetic armor is like 1,500 gems or whatever to buy that cool cosmetic stuff, or 1,500 gems is equitable to $20 of real money to buy one cosmetic item. That is how you do cosmetics bad in your free-to-play game. Make your cosmetics $5 to $10 max. Anything above that, and I should get something else. $20 and above, I should get other things. Warframe, I think, has done cosmetics and stuff and ethical monetization for their free-to-play game way better than anything I've seen so far. Path of Exiles, I think, does it okay too. I got to look that one up again, but last time I checked, it was pretty good. But yeah, like, Warframe is just cosmetics though. That's it. Diablo Immortal is gear, cosmetics, and a bunch of other dumb shit. Like, they're making it's just it breaks my heart that when Blizzard was founded back in the day, They were a company founded by gamers. They were a company founded by game programmers, by artists, by technical people, that weren't part of the business side. And now Blizzard is just pure business, and the original Blizzard is gone. It's been dead for a while. And I think this really started with Diablo 3 and the Real Money Auction House, but there's a million other YouTubers and stuff who talk about that kind of stuff. Anyways, I'm tired. I'm sorry I was wrong. Diablo Immortal is effectively pay to win, unfortunately. Am I still having fun with it? Hell yeah. Am I still going to play it with some friends tonight? Hell yeah. It's fun. It's still that fun Diablo gameplay. Now, if only they fixed their money bullshit, Anyway, thanks for staying a while and listening. I've been Calypso, and I'll see you guys in the next one.